Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening and watching. I'm going to share something with you guys today that actually happened. It really did. Despite my own criticisms and my own doubts, there's no denying the fact that it actually happened. I lived it, I saw it, I experienced it, and I remember it like it was yesterday. But the reason I'm sharing this with you, the public. Like I said in my previous video, I'm changing the channel to be more God centered and show people out there how God really does exist. And if you believe and you invest your time spending some time with God, He does things. He'll save your life like He saved my life. Um, it's an intimate walk, and it's something I recommend everybody out there to do. Just get right with God. We're definitely in the end times. We're definitely going to see a lot of stuff changing on this world towards the end of September. I believe it. But that's between you and God. You guys seek Him, and He'll show Himself to you. But with that being said, here we go. All right, this happened. I'm not kidding. This really did happen. I was 14 years old. My childhood was not a good childhood. It was terrible. There's stuff about my childhood that even my youngest brother, who was born the last one, he had it better than me. He doesn't have a clue as to what I went through being the oldest in the family. So as you can imagine, I'm Army brat. My father was in the Army. It was a very strict upbringing, and I'll leave it at that. So my uncle, who was my father's brother, really had just felt a need to kind of be in my life at a very important time in my life. I was struggling, and I think he knew it. So my uncle was he was well educated. He was an engineer, and he did very well for himself. And he always liked to take vacations in the summertime and relax and yada, yada, yada. So this one time I was 14 years old, he took me under his wing and he took me out to the Caribbean to go fishing, sightseeing, and see the beautiful islands out in the Caribbean. And I was 14 years old. I was wet behind my ear. I didn't know what I was doing, but I decided to go. He took me. He was insisting on taking me, and I just decided to go. What the heck? And I'm glad I did. If it wasn't for my uncle, I don't think I'd be where I am today. He did a lot that made impressions on me and showed me things in life that made me want to live, want to seek a better life, for lack of a better term. So, long story short, here we are. We're in the middle of the Caribbean. We're out on these little islands that he likes to go to. I'm not going to say which one because I love that place. I don't want nobody to to destroy it, or a bunch of people visiting there, and then just I don't want to see a bunch of boats and tourists. So I'm keeping that one to myself. But I love going back there. It's still a nice place and it's beautiful. But we were out in this island. We were just fishing. We spent the whole entire weekend fishing, and I decided on this one day just to go wandering and just to go sightseeing. So I told my uncle, I said, "Look, I'm going to go up the way here and just go sightseeing." And you know, I wanted to be alone, so I took off. And I was crawling over rocks and following the shoreline. And after a while, I looked back and I was by myself. There was nobody around. And I came to this little cove. And this cove was it was beautiful. It was serene. It's something like you see in a postcard. Just absolutely gorgeous. Back then, lifestyles of the rich and famous was the big thing back then. And I just remember standing there thinking, wow, this is beautiful. This is just like lifestyles of the rich and famous. This is $1 million view. And this cove was just surrounded with rocks. And it just looked so peaceful. And I sat there for a little while, just kind of meandering and thinking and reflecting on my life, and I decided I'm just going to go. The water looked so enticing, and the rocks and everything was just gorgeous, crystal clear water, blue, like, oh man, it was beautiful. It still is beautiful. But I decided to go out there, go for a swim, and just enjoy the scenery. And I was walking into the water, and as I was getting into just past my knees, um, I remember seeing a dark presence in the water. And just as I got in, you walk in the water, you do it quick. You just wade in there. Two steps goes like that. In 2 steps, you're a foot deeper. But just out of nowhere, like a torpedo, just shot out at me, straight at me, and it was a tiger shark. This tiger shark literally just shot straight at me like a torpedo, its mouth wide open. And I stopped. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I stopped in my tracks. I froze, didn't know what to do. It was just the flight or fight response. Just adrenaline hits you, you freeze. But I just stopped where I was, and this tiger shark was just shooting out of the water, just like the movie Jaws, just mouth open, right at me. I could see inside its mouth. I could see the water that was pouring into his mouth and exiting out through the gills. That's how intense. This is how intimate that encounter was, that I could see that. I could see his eyes roll back, and then the rows of teeth, top and bottom, and the tail just going like this because it was propelling itself like a torpedo right at me. And at the very last second, its mouth was just going to take me and grab me. Had he been successful, his mouth would have grabbed me right at the chest, right here, and just ripped me right open. But at the very last second, this is the interesting part, and many of you might not believe this, but it did happen. A white flash just appeared out of nowhere, like a white sheet of lightning, and it turned out that it was the hand of God. This white hand just literally, like a flash of lightning, just appeared between me and the shark. And as the shark was about to hit me, it bounced off the white hand and just fell back in the water. And at that second, I had that intimate, like something spoken to me and said, walk backwards. Well, I didn't walk. I ran. I think I probably walked on water, for the lack of a better term, because I remember being on shore like that. And I turn around and I see this shark just flailing in, waist deep water, still looking for me. And then as it couldn't find me, it went to slightly deeper water so I could swim, and it was literally going back and forth, just angry, looking for me. And I remember sitting there on the water going, just like, boom. The adrenaline rush was just intense. But I remember thinking to myself, God just saved my life. That was God. God's hand is a mile wide and paper thin. But yeah, if it had not been for God's lightning hand just appearing out of nowhere, I would have been dead. I would have been 14-year-old corpse being dragged out to the ocean and eaten alive by a tiger shark that the locals on that island call the man-eater. And my uncle would have never known. My mom would have spent her rest of her life wondering whatever happened to me. And it would have been a mystery. No one would have known anything. But there you have it, folks. That's an honest to God intervention, for lack of a better term. It did happen. I did see the hand, I did see the shark, and the shark did attack me. But by the grace of God, he didn't get me. But I was 14 years old, and that was one of the examples of God working in my life at that time. There was a purpose, and I'm really finding out the purpose now. But I'm going to leave it at that, so you guys can think about it, contemplate, and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear the feedback. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one.